Good morning once again, guys. I'm excited today. We actually get to fuel up some equipment, and namely the old skid steer over there using the new transfer tank. Like, oh, so excited. We're gonna put you all back into Ryan's hat mode. Let's go. Alrighty, let's get some equipment fired up. We also got the pins over here, or the pin, I should say, to get the hydraulic ram put back on. We don't wanna mess with that anymore. We're gonna get the skid steer fired up, move it over to the truck. Should probably make sure the hose is long enough here. Oh, just too short. All right, we're backing the skid steer up. All right, let's see. Oh, perfect. We'll get the hood popped on the OBS here. Now, is the alligator clip to under the hood method the best method? Probably not, but it's not like I do this every day. Run it up underneath this coolant reservoir hose here so it doesn't yank on the wires. Hook up our negative, hook up our positive. This thing's probably gonna eat up most of, if not all of the fuel that's in the tank back there. All right, y'all, we're gonna call that full. Man, that made life much, much easier. Close our hood, keep your fingers away, fingers away. Now we get our supplies from Tractor Supply. We're gonna need a hammer. So I got a couple options here. You guys can see the rams that are on there right now are just basically held on by a bolt and doubled up nuts on there. So got a couple of bolts here. I didn't want to go too big just in case they didn't fit, but that looks like the right size bolt. Or I got us this little pin here. Believe it's a clevis pin, don't quote me on that one. Probably just gonna end up going with this for right now. Oh geez, all right, and well, we got it greased. Only problem is this hole right here needs to line up with the hole that's in there, and when we slid it back in yesterday, we didn't really line that up. So I think we're gonna have to come back out with her here, and we can then rotate her, even though I have no clue where the holes are now. All right, we're gonna go in just a little bit. Good thing is there's like no pressure on it. Spin her around. Spin around. Is it a hole? Can't tell. Looks like a hole. We're gonna try right there. Go on in, girl. Oh, perfect. Let's see if she goes in like it was meant to be, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're gonna refill this bad boy with some grease. Shout out again to James for recommending the lock-in lube. This thing is absolutely awesome, so you don't have to sit there and fight and hold the grease fitting on there. Just click it on. Pull the handle. And yesterday yo saclo todo de tierra. So ahorita tiene 8 pulgadas abajo de tapa concrete. So we'll ponle 2 pulgadas de DG. Okay. Aquí está the viber plate. Y todo. So we've got all the form work finished over here. You can see we've got that top form going across there. The header that's gonna be, basically that's where our stopping point is for our first pour. You can see we left a cut out there. That's so I can run the skid steer in and out, bring in loads of DG, the clean DG that we're gonna use to do our final grade. You see some markings on the ground here. What we're gonna do on this line is we're gonna do a thickened edge. But we like to do thickened edges anywhere that somewhere's gonna be rolling over, or even if you're on a slope like this, having a thickened edge, it's almost like a footing at the end of the concrete here. It's gonna keep the concrete from ever wanting to slide or roll, which again, we're not on a very steep hill, but mainly it's so when you're crossing over from the dirt or the asphalt or whatever ends up being on this side of the street onto the concrete, you're not chipping away at that edge. So we're gonna dig basically a little footing all the way along this edge. Trick is though, not to hit the pipe that we put in there. I think we're gonna miss it. That's kind of why we pushed the wings of the apron there out further, because the pipe sits about center and our footing's gonna be over here, or our thickened edge, I should say. Got our thickened edge dug. We've got our string line in right now. We're gonna set this form, which is gonna basically cap off the end of the driveway here. Then at that point, we'll have all of our heights. We're gonna start running string lines all throughout. We're gonna be bringing in our fresh DG, and then we're gonna be rodding it or screeding it, depending on what you wanna call it, and getting our grade set perfectly. And this place is about to transform really quickly into something very beautiful. the formwork is done. Abel's getting everything pre-wet right now. Then we're gonna jump in the 299, start throwing the DG in while he's rotting it out. Unfortunately, Chava had to go to a doctor's appointment, so we're a man down right now. But I anticipated us getting it all done, but being a man down is gonna slow us down a little bit here, so we'll do as best we can. Now this is where things start to get precise. Up until now, everything was graded with the machine, and it was, you know, I mean, about as clean as you can get it with the machine with a tooth bucket. But we brought in the DG, spread it out by hand. Again, going for the ultra precise here. Right now, they're rotting it to about 5.5 inches below our string lines. Right there. So we've got 5.5 inches below. Obviously, we're doing 6 inches of concrete. So what we're gonna do is we're going to wet the DG down. We run a vibra plate or a plate compactor over top of it. And then by the time you compact it, give or take, we hit at about 6 inches. So we'll have 6 inches of concrete all the way through. Now, it's a step a lot of people don't do. It's something we've been doing forever. Most people will just dig down the dirt or the whatever terrain is there and then get roughly whatever grade you're looking for, 4 inches, 6 inches of concrete, and then pour it. We like to do this. It's ultra precise, makes a really, really good base for your concrete, and everything is just the same thickness all the way through. I mean, you can't really do that by trying to rot out dirt and rocks and all that stuff. You're gonna have a ton of high and low spots. This way, this is congruent the entire way. No high spots, no low spots, no weird stuff. And the reason, again, we brought in the clean DG is trying to rod like they're doing right now with the stuff that we pulled out of the ground. If you've got big clumps and big rocks, you're just gonna drag them and create holes in the DG. So unfortunately, that's as far as we're getting today. Now, when we left off in this video, it was Friday. Today is now Sunday. So we haven't really touched the gate project yesterday. And we're using today to actually move some equipment around. Oh, good morning, Chris. Cheers. 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 Chris was nice enough to bring up the Denali today with him to the ranch. So we're gonna be using the Denali to hook up to the trailer, to take the Mini X to another job that we have. And this is today is the day the Denali is gonna redeem herself right here in towing. Because last time we had this combo going, we went like the super crazy windy road to get up to the ranch, and well, the Denali didn't like it. We over torqued the trans, which put it in limp mode. Thankfully, nothing bad came out of that. So today we're gonna do a little redemption. We're gonna do some towing. What are you eating, buddy?
Cookie.
Oh, chocolate chip?
Chocolate chip cookie.
Dang. This guy.
What?
You sit in the back seat?
Yeah.
I missed this girl. Hopefully my preset setting is saved. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's me. Hold on, let's try 2. Oh, we're getting even crazier. All right, we're going back to 1. Going back to 1. Going back to 1. Any of my future trucks from here on out ever will always have air ride. Super ghetto chain extensions here. Gotta find my other chain extension buried under here somewhere. Found it. Stop looking. Pretty sure it's mine. I don't really remember leaving it there though. There we go. Ignition's on. Get it, buddy. Oh, you're so strong, dude. After owning this trailer for, I don't know, 6 months, 7 months, I absolutely love it. Do I think I need a smaller trailer for like quick little runs around town with the equipment? Yes. The reason I got the size trailer I got is because at some point I knew we were going to be putting trucks on these trailers. So that's why I went the 20-foot length plus the 4-foot dovetail. I will be getting a smaller trailer at some point though, just for quick little equipment runs. Before we load her up, we gotta get the mini hosed off though. She's a little dusty, can't be showing up to a job with a dirty machine. Chain down, we're ready to go. So a lot of you guys have asked, these are the quick binders made by Peerless. Only ratcheting binders I've ever used, and I absolutely love these things. So check them out, they're super quick. All right, y'all, well, the old BBB did great. Got the excavator here just fine. We've got our new job that we're gonna be starting right there behind me. That'll probably be in this video. Don't quote me on that, I'm not 100% sure. Dang, Chris over here putting in some work, buddy.
Oh, you know, just doing what I can, man.
Life of a trucker?
Yeah.
Nice, dude, nice. This is the side of things that a lot of people don't see when it comes to jobs and moving equipment and all that stuff. Like, most of this stuff happens after hours on a weekend to get the equipment there staged for the week's worth of work. So if you ever wonder why things cost what they do, keep in mind, you gotta factor stuff like this in. The fuel to get the equipment there the day before, the hours that come with that, let alone all the time behind the scenes, bidding, doing all your calculations, all that stuff. All adds up. Make our way down the driveway here. Today we're just staging the equipment. Tomorrow morning we're gonna be working at the ranch and then get the guys going and everything started and everything kosher. And then we're gonna be running down here. James is gonna be dropping off some equipment in the morning and we're gonna have some fun. Now today's gonna have a few moving pieces. Like I mentioned yesterday, we're gonna get started on the gate project in the morning, get the guys going. Then we gotta head down and start our new job. In between, I don't know. We're gonna meet up with James over at his house. He's also gonna be bringing a skid steer and a breaker down for us. I'm gonna go grab the viber plate, or attempt to grab it, I should say. Let's see if this little trailer is gonna be happy here loading this thing in there. We good. All I know is we're getting our money's worth out of the golf cart and the golf cart trailer today. Golf carts are a mobile generator rig. Fiber plate on the back there on the trailer. Good morning, donkeys. Keep up the good work. Let's keep the driveway clean. Eat up all you want. Let's go. Doing great, guys. Doing great. What's up, Willie? You gonna get the water trailer fired up for us? No? All right. Good morning, buddy. Good. Okay. Oh, yep. It's good to see you, buddy. It's good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Straight up. Just a big dog. Now that all the DG is in and rotted out to where we have a consistent 5.5 inches, Abel's going ahead and watering this all down. And for those of you guys that don't know what DG is, I've probably mentioned it a lot in all my videos. DG is decomposed granite, and you'll see it in a lot of uses. One use is as a sub base for concrete. Another use is you'll see it a lot on park trails and like jogging trails through communities and stuff like that. They'll lay this down because when you actually wet it and compact it like we're about to do, this stuff gets rock hard. I mean, not quite as hard as concrete, but pretty dang close. And they actually make glues that you can spray over top of it. So if you are doing a park trail or a trail around your backyard or whatever it may be, you spray this glue on top of it and it binds it all together even tighter. Here you'll be able to see the difference. I know the shadows are kind of a pain in the butt, but that's the compacted version. Still wet. Once it dries, it kind of tightens up even more. So Abel's running around, compacting it. You got to get your water ratio just right. Too much water, it's going to stick to the bottom of the viber plate. Not enough water, you ain't really doing much. guys can see what a huge difference it makes there, even aesthetically. Now, if you guys have never run a plate compactor, they're essentially self-propelled. And I don't exactly know how they do it. It's some type of counterweight that spins and like kind of wants to push it forward. I could be completely wrong, but that's what it seems like. You can see, if you were to just try and push this without that self-propelled motion, you'd be fighting that thing, especially going up a slope like this. Super awesome tool. I think we've had this one for, shoot, going on 10 years or more now. That's never skipped a beat. And I'm pretty sure it's had one oil change its whole life. Now, like every other building material in the world, rebar is kind of one of those ones that you got to get it when they can get it to you. So, fortunately, we're not going to get rebar today. We'll get it dropped off first thing in the morning tomorrow. But now we got to run while these guys are taking care of this to the new job and get that started. Now, while we wait for James to show up with the skid steer, give you guys a quick little rundown of this job we got here. I always tell you guys, jobs come in waves, and well, we're still on the breaking out concrete waves of jobs. So this one we're working on right now. We got to pull all this concrete out on the back patio here. As well as this walkway coming around the side of the house, and then that whole, I guess, driveway extension that my truck is sitting on. Now, the fun part is homeowners saying there's no rebar in. We've got other sources saying there's rebar in this, but we don't really know. As you guys know, if there's no rebar, this goes quick. If there's rebar, we got to sit there and break the rebar out of the concrete, otherwise we can't take it to the concrete recyclers. So that should be interesting. We got Zachariah here to help today. You gonna be able to show up dead skid steer skills?
Hopefully. Shouldn't be hard.
Zach's got the adult lunchable going on. Nice, nice. All right, we got James pulling up. You know, I'm not gonna lie, guys. It was always my dream to like own a piece of equipment, have a trailer, like haul your own equipment to the job site. And I feel really cool doing it my way. And then you get like guys like James, like that's a whole nother level of cool. We're not quite there yet.
I don't know if we can do that cool.
So the fun part is, at some point, you think you can get your truck down that driveway?
If it's just a truck, yeah.
Okay. So we're hoping we can get James's truck in here on the day that we're gonna actually be hauling all the broken concrete out of here. We're gonna do it kind of like I did the last job, where I'm gonna break it all and have it pre-staged, ready, so that way when it comes time for James coming in, it's just one day a quick haul in. So driveway's a little tight on that bend back there. We've got a lot of low voltage lighting in the planters behind me that we don't want to tear up. This is the moment of truth, guys. We're gonna do a little test break over here. This corner that I'm looking at with how far it's dropped is telling me there's no rebar in it. They could have just missed this corner. I don't know. We're gonna see here. I'm anticipating that there's gonna be big footings where each one of these posts are, where there was an old patch. Pull that corner off with the Mini X here. Again, there's probably a big footing underneath it, but we're hoping. No rebar. Oh yeah, she's a big footing. See, the footing's all the way out here. We're gonna come back to that. So far, so good, y'all. None of that has rebar in it. I started pulling this walkway out here with the Mini X. You guys can see it. The Mini X thing's a beast. They pulled out this whole chunk right here. One shot. And no rebar in the walkway, so this all looks like it was poured at the same time. I think we're gonna be golden with no rebar. I hope. Got my moving blanket here. I'm providing window protection with my moving blanket, because I don't wanna have to buy one of these sliding windows. They're new and inexpensive. We're gonna try what we're gonna call the rock guard here. See if we can hang the moving blanket off of the breaker. And then we don't gotta sit there and hold it. And then we can continue to work. All right, buddy, give it a shot. We'll see if this works, or it's just gonna get really annoying for Zach all day. Well, when the wind blows it away, it doesn't too much. I mean, I feel like if he comes straight on this way, it'll do more than nothing. Oh, money, bro. That was Zach's idea. Good job, Zach. Good job, Zach. Innovation at its finest right there. We're gonna be selling those. If you guys are looking for a rock guard for your breaker, 3,500 bucks, we'll sell you guys one. Bolts right on. Well, tapes right on to any attachment, any make model. So the good news is these piers that were underneath where the post brackets were, they're not super deep. They're big though. That thing is heavy. I'd already pulled one out. You can see it right there. This one you can see has rebar in it. They have a little cage. You can see where that rust mark is that goes all the way around the bottom there. Tells me the rebar was sitting on the ground. not where it's supposed to be. Well, y'all, things were going great. The blanket on the end there was working perfectly. And then, well, as you can see, the old seal on the breaker decided to give out. We're gonna have to come up with an audible right now. Picking up these big old chunks was kind of working. It might work if we sit here and do that all day.
I mean, if you can like do that and it cracks, I can probably grab, like, do what you were doing with the bucket, try to sit there and lift it, and then, I mean, either that or you could pick one up and I can smack the concrete and try to see if it'll break in half. We got a lot of concrete for this to happen this early. At least we're not like midway through.
If we can get it out in big chunks, we can always come back once we figure out the breaker issue or get another breaker, and we'll break them up in small pieces for the truck. So here's our new plan until we figure out exactly what's gonna happen with the breaker. Zach's gonna put the bucket on. He's gonna get up underneath the concrete, pick it up a little bit so there's airspace underneath it, which will cause it to crack easier when I pull one of these concrete piers over there and use this like a wrecking ball and start dropping it. We're going real old school today, guys. All right, let's grab our stone here. Hopefully this doesn't throw rocks or concrete. Now, I've gone about as far on this side of the house as I would like. Dropping that big old chunk of concrete is starting to kind of bounce towards the house a little bit, and I don't want to end up having to repair stucco and or a window. So, until we get a breaker situation figured out, we're gonna go to the other side of the property over there. Well, y'all, we were doing good. We were lucky so far, but we got to this slab here, and not only is it 8 inches thick, but they also use wire mesh, which you'll see right here. Hopefully it's showing up on camera. These are the big sheets you can get in like 4x8 or 5x10 sheets or whatever. I'm not a big fan of them. In my mind, they don't do a whole lot other than make it a pain in the butt to tear out your concrete. And the biggest issue with them is they're so flimsy that when you're pouring concrete and guys are stepping on it, it ends up just like this all the way at the bottom of your concrete, which you want things to ideally be centered. And if I'm pouring an 8-inch slab, I'm using rebar, not wire mesh, but yeah, this is gonna fight us. You can see the mesh right there. Zach, careful with my finger again, bro.
You know, are we clear?
There you go. You gotta say that before though.
Dump fee just went up.
Fun stuff, guys. Fun stuff. It was looking so promising this morning. So unfortunately, we just got a call that James is gonna go pick us up a different breaker. Unfortunately, the rental yard said it was gonna be ready for him. And then they're all playing the, oh, we didn't know who said what. And James just got stuck at the rental yard and they didn't have the breaker ready for him. So unfortunately, that's gonna be coming first thing in the morning. We just had to kind of give up over here. Our method was working, and I'm not one to give up, and we can keep pushing through. And we were doing really well with our old dropping the big old chunkier method, but
until it got a little thick.
yeah. You guys can see that concrete right there is like 8 to 10 inches thick, depending on, and I think it's only getting thicker as we're going back up towards the house.
It's right here that's the thickest.
Yeah. So that combined with the wire mesh, like it stopped working. So unfortunately, we're just gonna have to wait till we get the breaker here in the mornings before we can really make any more progress on this, because we're honestly just sitting here wasting fuel and time. So again, it's weird, like the way they did things around here, like the wire mesh, I already talked about why I don't like that, and when it's sitting on the ground, it's doing even less. But same thing for the rebar they use in these piers for the actual post for the patio cover. You can see that, you know, they had rebar cages made up for it, but they were just sitting on the ground. James is gonna take this breaker back to his house and put a new seal kit in it. Yeah, perfect fit right there, perfect fit. Well, unfortunately today ended up being kind of a bust here. We got a pretty good start. We got a decent amount broken out, especially considering we started the morning at my house. Now that we're here, might as well fill up the Mini with our transfer tank. Zach, we need to put a swivel on this thing. And since we got nothing but time today, getting the Mini X fueled up, giving her some good old maintenance, Zach going around greasing everything. Where do you want me to put it? Want to replant it down there? Well, again, y'all, wish we'd have gotten more done today, but every once in a while, life throws you a couple punches, and we got to regroup and re-attack it tomorrow. We're gonna go refill the transfer tank, so talking about life throwing punches, it's been a lot of money in fuel lately. Regardless, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have not subscribed already, please click the subscribe button now that we do not miss out on any future content. And don't forget to give this video a like, get a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out workforapparel.com, because if there's anything you want in this life, you gotta be willing to work for it. You guys are the best. I'm out.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah.